TIFU by not following the ritual of shaving my beard the night before. It happened to me today. Since I wake up very early to go to work, I usually shave my beard the night before. Last night, I was getting ready to shave my beard, as I hadn't done it for 3 days, but I looked in the bathroom mirror and thought, screw it, I'll shave tomorrow when I wake up. Today I woke up, had a shower and started shaving. At one point the shaver stopped working. I thought it was the battery, but no, the shaver just died. And guess what? I had no other object to shave my beard with. As I was already very late for work, and I have the principle of never being late, I decided to go to work with one side of my face shaved and the other side of my face unshaven. Conclusion: considering that my job involves dealing directly with people, you can imagine how my morning went. I've had several clients make fun of me. There was one who looked at me and said, "I'm not going to trust you anymore, you're a two-faced man." It was only at lunchtime that I managed to buy a new shaver and shave the side of my face that was full of hair. My advice to all men: always have a spare shaver for any eventuality. TLDR: I didn't follow the ritual of shaving the night before out of laziness. The next morning I was late, the shaver died, and I went to work with half my face shaved and the other half unshaven. Edit: first of all, thank you for your comments. I think it is pertinent to say, especially for people who think I could have spent 10 minutes to go and buy a razor, that in Portugal at 7 a.m. there are no stores open. Most of them only open from 9 a.m. Note: the original text was written in Portuguese. My apologies if the translation was not the best. This type of stuff actually makes you endearing to clients. Probably worked out in your favor, haha. Precisely. It's a well-known tactic that some politicians use. They make themselves look silly on purpose, so that people will make fun of their appearance, lower their guard, and get distracted from the actual policies being passed by said politician. Boris Johnson made a whole career out of it. I remember realizing this about 10 years ago. I watched a John Lennon interview where he said that his own appearance, the long hair, nakedness, etc., was a purposeful distraction that he got from Sun Tzu's Art of the War. Always leave one door open, that way you know where they'll be coming from. Ha! Exactly whom I had in mind writing this. Also, that's a really good quote. I like to dye my hair in cool colors. Green, purple, pink, you name it. I had to attend a worldwide work-related event and wanted to look sharp to be there, and dyed my hair with 2 different colors, had a nice gradient between them. I looked awesome. Source: me. The hair turned out to be a killer icebreaker. People would approach me to talk about my hair, which then led to a conversation, networking, and a few business deals down the road. I'm attending the same event in 1 month and I'm already thinking what colors will be this year, lol. That is very cool. I think dyeing hair in unusual colors is such a delightful idea. But I also hear how in a lot of professions that's considered unprofessional or straight up unacceptable. The fact that you got to do your hair how you like it and used it to your own professional advantage, that's badass. I am curious. What color gradient did you do last time? And what colors are you leaning towards this time? Thanks, silvers. Yeah, my boss kept saying that it really was a badass move. Last year I went full neon, pink and blue. This year I'm leaning towards maybe green and red. I'm now part of a Mexican team, so I think that flying their colors in the event will be a nice touch. But I'm also thinking of maybe blue, green, or turquoise. I'll figure it out probably this weekend. Feel free to pitch in. I'll DM you the result lol, if that's okay. Oh, you have a good taste in colors. Pink and blue is such a classic. They go together exceedingly well. Now, I am wholly on board with green and red being totally on theme for a Mexican team, but I won't pretend that blue, green or turquoise don't look amazing on their own. Not for nothing, but most of the characters I make in any RPG video game I play have blue/turquoise hair, haha. If it were me, I'd probably mix blue and turquoise, or blue and teal. Gives a beautiful range of blue to green. Oh, and definitely, please do. I'd love to see the results. Deal. I used to work at Target. One of the backroom guys was getting his picture taken for an ID. He thought it would be funny to shave everything on the right side of his face, leaving his beard, mustache and eyebrows on the left side of his face, and the hair atop his head. After he got the picture taken, he realized it would be even funnier to leave it like that for a week. I worked with a young guy who shaved his part of his head into the full male pattern baldness, just for fun. Hats are required at work, so it covered it up, but it was funny. The older guys who had the same haircut liked it. I grew up with a guy that has a head full of hair but decided to shave a bald spot with a comb over just to see if he could pull it off. I about died when he lifted up his comb over at the bar to show me LOL. Would have never noticed otherwise. Man with hair can pass as not bald. Noted. My experience leaving anything until before work in the morning is a bad idea. I was always caught out with "oh, I'll get petrol on the way to work." Had to buy lunch today because my lunch wasn't packed last night. Damn, yesterday you is such an ass. Yeah. Most of my problems today are his fault. I once had an employee call me in a panic because he had washed literally all of his clothes before work and only then discovered that the dryer was broken. Translation: I'm smashed off my face. I can't even find the word pants in the dictionary. But I need an excuse that doesn't require a doctor and wet clothes beat out apartment fire by a nose. Actually had a mate pull this one to avoid coming out with us once. We gave him a hard time, not believing his excuse for a moment, and he eventually showed up in wet clothes, much to our chagrin. He later admitted that it had indeed been a fabrication, but he followed through to save face. If you use electric, always have at least a disposable razor in your drawer. I use an electric and don't keep a spare disposable around. Instead, I just build my life to be fine if I show up with a half-shaven face that the trimmer ever eats it. What did you use for the translation? I was very surprised when you pointed that out at the end. Your post reads very smoothly. I thought the same. I think it must have been some kind of machine learning translator. It's way too fluid to be something like Google Translate, unless they upgraded it recently. In Portugal at 7 a.m. there are no stores open. Most of them only open from 9 a.m. Yeah, US people who have never traveled to Europe never get this. Stores are open during business hours, maybe as late as 7 p.m. Smaller cities and towns are basically empty after that. Sometimes there is a bar, nightclub, or restaurant open, but there is no 24-hour Walmart. LOL, I did not expect this while in Spain. Totally understood the afternoon closure, but for some reason had never heard of places not being open early. Took me 2 days to figure it out. Lesson learned. The funny part for me when I went to Switzerland the first time is they have small, by US standards, portions for everything, like Coke Light, Diet Coke. However, their family size was 1L. Awesome! 34-ounce Coke Light. Perfect! Except Coke Light tastes terrible. You went to work with a half-shaved face instead of stopping at a store on your way in and buying a new one and being 10 minutes late? That's commitment, pal. Being 10 minutes late. I have the principle of never being late. OP is a man of principle. You would do well to follow his example in this, and in all things. I have spoken. I have the principle of never being late without first informing my boss that I'm going to be late. OP could have explained the situation to his employer and asked to be excused while he got a razor and fixed it. Hell, if one of the employees under me showed up like that, I would have asked him to go get a razor and get it fixed. Or put on a mask. That works too. Call a friend from work, bring me something to shave with to work with you. Urgent. Then spend 5 minutes in the bathroom. People who think I could have spent 10 minutes to go and buy a razor, that in Portugal at 7 a.m. there are no stores open. Sometimes, Redditors forget that the internet is the World Wide Web and think that only people from their country post here. I have accidentally assumed that before. One of the best parts about having beard is not wasting time shaving. A quick trimmer, tidy up, some scissor action around the mustache and you're done. The beard after 3 days of not shaving has done it for me. This post reads like you go full wolfman in a day LMAO. Keep a can of Magic Shave or Nair hair remover. Nair works great for your hair. When I saw the ad for beards half off, I didn't read the fine print, then frown and stick your lower lip out. In all seriousness, it's not a terrible idea to keep a box of spare toiletries for unexpected guests / hospital stays / etc. I have a little box with a couple travel toothbrushes / paste, a couple disposable razors, travel deodorant, stuff like that. Has been handy a few times. Boy Scout motto, be prepared. Next time whip up a GoFundMe for a charity you like and play it off as a fundraising campaign. Once I turned 40, I swore off shaving. I have very coarse beard hair and had to shave against the grain to get a shave that would last longer than about 4 hours. After using a razor twice, it'd be dull and leave cuts in my skin. Swearing off shaving and maintaining my beard, work regulations of ½ inch or shorter, has given me much satisfaction in my life. Scented beard balms and oils are great fun. It's a change that you may eventually make as well. Look forward to it. I have to give you props. I think if I had a half-shaved face and looked that bad, I would have probably called out sick. Get a straight razor. You might lose half of your face, but it will never not work. First of all, who shaves their face before going to bed instead of in the morning? You're going into work with 8 hours of facial hair growth already instead of a fresh shave? Second, how do you not have a razor at all? I don't know about you guys, but an electric shaver is never sufficient for me. I always have to finish the job with a razor, which is why I usually don't even bother with a shaver to begin with. One of my best friends ever, who was very influential in various directions of my life, was introduced to me purely because another friend of mine saw him at a Halloween party where he had shaved half his beard off, to be two-faced. My entire life would have been different in nearly every way if he didn't shave half his beard. I do the Dollar Shave Club. I've got so many refills lying around. Also, is shaving the night before a thing? First time hearing it. I've been shaving since I was 13, 'cause my school has a rule that boys can't have a mustache or beard. I shave in the morning, against the grain, and clean shave every morning. Reminds me of the time I had to shave at work. I used to work in restaurants as a cook, and one of my managers was a real suave type of dude. He wanted the younger guys clean shave, with good reason, and once he saw my semi-hairy face, he handed me a bottle of shaving cream and a razor and said, "Go ahead, young man. You know what to do." First time using an actual razor, and I liked it, actually. My electric clippers, maybe, can't give me that clean a shave. Please like and subscribe for more daily content.